Dear participants, dear teams, dear mentors, dear viewers from all around Europe and possibly beyond, please let me welcome you to the Common Ground Camp 2021. Common Ground Camp is organized within a Hub IT project, which is funded under the Horizon 2020 program of the European Union. And Hub IT seeks to activate constructive interactions between ICT developers, SSH researchers, and other stakeholders that will lead to a responsible approach to research and innovation. This event is brought to you by Pedal Consulting, one of the project partners of Hub IT. We are streaming live from Optio Studio in Bratislava, and my name is Miro, and I will be the host for the upcoming 3 days. So, Common Ground Camp is only one of the activities of Hub IT, and I would like to encourage you to learn more about other project activities, namely to visit the Hub IT Metropolis, which is a platform within Hub IT website, where you will find all the resources that can help you to align the processes of your project or business with the values, needs, and expectations of society. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank all the 14 partners from 12 countries of Hub IT for making Common Ground Camp 2021 and other project activities possible. So, what is Common Ground Camp all about? As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed our lives in an unprecedented way. The need to provide basic income security and easy access to healthcare and education services, to name a few, has become more urgent than ever. On top of that, the potential of digitalization to protect and improve health and well-being needs to be fully unlocked. One of the ways how we can contribute to the efforts to overcome the negative impacts of the pandemic could be working towards the Sustainable Development Goals. What are these? Well, SDGs, or Sustainable Development Goals, are a collection of 17 global goals adopted by the UN in 2015, addressing the urgent environmental, political, and economic challenges. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, or quality of education are good examples of the goals to be attained by 2030, but particularly urgent also nowadays in our world struck by the COVID-19 pandemic. With this in mind, the objective of the Common Ground Camp are to facilitate the collaboration between information and communication technologies and social sciences and humanities, and to generate innovative solutions related to sustainable development goals that could potentially help to beat the COVID-19 pandemic. We are very happy to have over 40 attendees joining us live that will be working in 12 teams until Friday to propose, advance, and pitch the solution to win attractive prizes. Some of our teams came with an existing solution of their own. Some were brought together by interest in common topic. We will have the opportunity to learn more about them and their ideas tomorrow. All of them will be able to benefit from the support of our mentors, judges, to help them to advance and prepare their idea for the final event. So, who are our mentors joining us today as well? It is my pleasure to welcome Ms. Romina Grosse, who will be joining tomorrow, and Ms. Silke Steinberg, who are both from FIAP EV, Institute for Innovative and Preventive Job Design. Both from Germany, they will be working and judging in tandem. Ms. Denka Havrlíková from Aviteum, Czech Republic, Mr. Michal Matuš, founder of Parkio and Save the Bees project from Slovakia, and Ms. Delia Stefanel from European Social Impact Institute. And the evaluation criteria that our mentors and judges will follow to judge the proposed solutions, well, here they are. Level of innovation, design and execution of the idea, impact, how much of impact will the solution bring, is the idea scalable, is the business model viable, synergy between SSH and ICT, relevance to the Sustainable Development Goals, deployment in real life, aka technical and business viability of the proposed solution, and complexity of the software architecture. Oh, and finally, let's not forget the quality of the presentation, of course. Let's also not forget about the code of conduct to which all our participants adhere during the registration process. Hub IT stands for inclusivity, and it does not tolerate harassment in any form. Participants violating these rules may be expelled from the event at the discretion of the event organizers. So please be respectful. Just like in an aircraft, in case of unlikely breach of the code of conduct, all breaches can be reported anonymously directly to Jana and Robert from Pedal Consulting, who are organizers of this event. I would also like to quickly address how we are going to function for the following 3 days. So, as you probably know by now, the Common Ground Camp is partly streamed on YouTube. Our participants work in teams through Zoom and can consult also with mentors through Zoom. These are private sessions that you won't be seeing if you're watching us from YouTube. Teams will speak with the studio, with me, via their captains. Each team has one captain who was, who was elected before the event. At all times, mics are off, cameras are on. All questions are to be submitted through Slido and will be answered at separate Q&A sessions. So join us please at slido.com. You see the hashtag Habit. Feel free to take a short break whenever, as we are streaming online, provided that you won't be speaking with the studio or won't be at live stream. And participants, don't fear the observers. Our independent experts who will help us collect qualitative data and your feedback and provide you with technical support for the event. And last but not least, we value your feedback. So we will collect the data in the end on Friday, so please note down all of the feedback that you may have, all the notes concerning the quality of the event, the quality of the mentoring provided, or even the quality of the host. Not that one. And finally, a quick run through today's agenda. After the opening, our attendees will have the opportunity to know each other better during the icebreaker activity led by Mr. Luis Ferrini, who we will be talking to early on. The icebreaker will be followed by contextualization, during which we will have the opportunity to learn more on social development goals of UN and best practices of solutions that may help to attain them. And we will close the stream part of the day one with a Q&A session. So don't forget to send us your questions through Slido. Remember, once again, you can pretty much post them at any time. Participants will still be able to profit from our mentors' guidance from 6 to 7:30 p.m., so participants know that. But this part, as I said already, won't be streamed on the YouTube. Okay, that would be all from my part. I would like to say for the end, Common Ground Camp is officially opened, and I would like to pass the word to Mr. Luis Ferrini for the initial icebreaker. Luis, can you hear me? Are we on?
Yes, sure, I can. Good morning, everyone.
Great. Well,
so my name is Luis Ferrini. I'm from FVA, is a new media company of Italy, based in Rome. And we do communication, and we communicate, let's say, science results, because we participate to a lot of European projects. And today I was called just to do an ice-breaking game. So here we are talking about, of course, startups, business, and innovators. So I'm gonna let you play to this game. It's an icebreaker. I don't know if I can. I have to paste a link that you should connect to. I don't know if it's visible. Should I share in the screen or should I put in the chat? Because I don't know if who's gonna play. I mean, if everybody wants to play, I can share the screen maybe.
Sure,
so I can
please.
give the link.
Do so. Maybe you can do both.
Yeah.
Share the link and the screen.
I don't know if you see the link here, so that people can enter.
Yes.
So this game is a pretty, let's say, simple game. And basically what you have to do is to build a tower as high as possible. And you have to put your nickname here. And I will put mine so that you can see it also on the screen. And the session, after you put the session in, you enter and there will be a logo, and then wait for me to start. You know, to start, you have to click on the logo. So when I say start, you can start, okay? So the session ID is 1008. I just wait all of you to input this, and then you can enter. Okay, so the scope, as I said, is to build a tower as high as possible. And so we can start the game. So I count 3, 2, 1, click on the logo. Okay, now you have to build this tower, moving your pieces and trying to make it high. I don't make it high because I don't want to compete with you, so I hope you are doing it. Okay, so I guess they're playing. So 30 seconds left. Okay, now something happened. 2 columns came up, so I hope they didn't destroy your tower. I don't know where your towers was. So this is an expected event. Link. Okay, I'll give it. Is this one?
Maybe you can share it in the chat.
I did it. It's
All
on the,
right.
on the
It's
chat
in the
already.
chat as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So yeah, it's on the chat.
Great. So we'd like to ask all the participants to connect. Maybe we connect and we do the activity once again.
Okay. So you have to put the nickname and then the session is 1008.
1008.
Yeah. Did you enter? Unfortunately, I can't hear the people, so I don't know if how many of you already enter and play the game.
We gotta see. Hopefully, our teams are in. I'm pretty curious who will
I hope
build
so.
the biggest tower.
Anyway, after the tower is finished, there is a ruler on top left, and so you have to measure your tower. So put the arrow close to the highest part of your tower. Okay, so in my case is here, it's 202. And then after you do that, you have to take a screenshot. There is a button on top right. Okay. Now what will happen is that the game poses you a dilemma. If you want to keep, so confirm your tower, the one that you have done, or you want to take the risk to go to another level. And this level, of course, can be easier, can be more difficult, or can be similar. And so you have to decide, if you want to, go for it and try, or just confirm this tower. Of course, I will take the risk. So I go to the next level. And now you can build your tower again. Maybe you can make a better tower than the other.
Well, how the time flies. It's night already in Italy, is it?
Excuse me?
I say, how the time flies. Is it night already in Italy?
No.
It must be hard to construct the tower when it's
there's a nice
already
moon.
moon outside.
We moved to another country,
All
United
right.
States. No, United States is morning now. Okay, so we have 25 seconds left. 21. I hope somebody played because I will check. So 9 seconds, 8. So I'm done, actually. So now I take the ruler and I put it in the highest part of the tower. So it's less than the other one, basically. There is something in the chat.
So this will be a nice activity to know our teams actually even better. Well, first of all, to know whether this type of icebreaker could be done in the conditions like we are today, because maybe I would side note that this event
we can
originally...
check now, because yeah, I've finished. You have to take the snapshot, the last one, and now let's see what happened, because I think we can see it. So
let's check it then.
I have to go here. Let's see if somebody, oops. Let's see if somebody played.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this is a nice opportunity for all our teams that have actually joined and don't have a fixed ID yet, and the team together.
Yeah, there is
okay,
somebody.
we have some results.
Here we are.
Here we are.
At least there is Marty, I would say. So the winner, I guess, is Marty, that did a pretty high, 365. He didn't take the risk, actually. He didn't go to the next level. Then there is Alex here that did 242, and he did better on the next one. It was a little messy, the tower, I had to say. It was very creative. You know, he put all the pieces together without being, you know, straight going up. And well, this is me. And then Misko did worse than me. Anyway, this game is a metaphoric representation of a team in a project, basically. You know, the implementation process of a project or in a startup, you know, to create a product combines different expertise, okay? And the expertise here in the game are represented by the pieces. They are very different one from the other, because of course the expertise are different one from the other. But if you combine them together, you can really go up to the sky. You know, you can make a very good job in the production. Also, the more difficult one, they are the one that are not straight. You know, the round ones are more difficult to put. But if there is, you know, a good square piece in the bottom, it can be put in the tower. Okay, so this is the basic sense of the game. Of course, we had an unexpected event, and this happens all the time. So the two columns that comes up and breaks, probably they broke some of the towers. And unexpected event, of course, are disruptive change. And we had an example with the pandemic, because, you know, with COVID-19. But this negative, you know, thing can generate also opportunities. And that's why you can start to build a tower from the top of the column so that you can go up higher. Of course, it's more unstable than on the ground, because you can have, you know, challenges when you are building this tower, but you can go higher, okay? The last part, of course, is to decide if you want to keep this tower or you want to take the risk, you know, to go. You don't know what's going to happen in the next level. You know, this could be difficult, more difficult, could be easier, or could be the same. Actually, it's the same, basically, but you have already the tower out. So here we experience the attitude to risk of people, you know, people that are more conservative. They say, you know, I have my tower, I don't want to risk and go on, you know, to try to do something better. We see the curiosity of people, or the willingness to, you know, discover new lands somehow, okay? And then there is also here, we experience the learns by error, because, you know, you start at the beginning, you learn, you know, by moving the pieces, and usually, as happened here with Alex, you do better, okay? Because you have learned and you already know how the game is working. So this was the game, and I hope, you know, they had fun. I don't know if maybe somebody else enter later on, but I don't think so. I'm sorry for the sharing of the link, but I mean they can play anyway with this and we can see if somebody else will make a higher tower. So from my point of view is, I mean, the ice break is finished. I don't know if now the group have to present themselves. I pass the floor to you again. Let me unshare this. Stop share. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so I guess it's back to us into the studio.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you
Yeah.
for the activity, actually. It was, it was nice to see. It's actually like a real life simulation, or I dare say like a real business situation, yeah? Because you never know what's going to happen. And in the online conditions that we are today, you never know if even the preconditions are really kept and people can join the stream and actually play the game. But I think that for those who played, this was a good occasion to even try the teamwork and try it in the virtual environment.
Yeah.
So next on, as to your question, we're not going to present the teams just yet. We keep our time. I'm going to address it later on for the interviews for tomorrow. There will be a time to talk to the captains, and we did it for a simple reason, because by tomorrow, I think all the business ideas should be clearer, as well as the name of the captains, especially the teams that are not set yet, don't have a solution available to them now. And actually, to help them find the solutions, we're going to proceed with our mentors. If we have all the mentors online, maybe I will ask if all the mentors already joined us, if they are here. And we're going to proceed with the mentors' presentations. So during the contextualization phase, actually, that will follow, our teams and viewers alike will have the opportunity to learn more about the Sustainable Development Goals and the examples of the practical solutions that may contribute to their accomplishment. So we will share some best practices. Our mentors will share it with you. And again, I would encourage to use Slido to ask our mentors questions, to ask any questions about the organizations. We'll have a separate Q&A session that will follow the mentors' presentation. So don't be afraid. Hit us at slido.com, #HubIT. And yeah, if we are ready, we will start the presentations of our mentors. If we have the mentors here in yet, maybe we will start with Miss Silke Steinberg. Silke, can you hear us? Are we here yet? Oh, it's nice to have you. I can see you.
Yes. Yes, thank you for inviting us to join this event. And
it is our pleasure.
I think my task is to tell you a little bit about our work. And so I guess I have to share my screen to...
Yes, please go on. We can see it. Maybe you can just press F5 or run the presentation.
Yeah. One moment.
I like the picture. It reminds me of the summer holidays that we didn't have.
Okay. Okay.
There we are.
I would like to introduce you briefly two project series that we support at our institute. Projects that support startups and also other projects with a focus on sustainability and social justice. In both project series, the central idea is to promote and use individual resources of special target groups in order to contribute to sustainable and social economies with the startups and the projects. The projects show a little bit that it is important to be aware of individual resources and objectives, because that provides a motivation and continuity, and it provides also diversity. You see here in the presentation a seahorse. The seahorse symbolizes for us this focus. It's for the Roman and ancient Greek, it was a symbol for strength and power, but also for permanence and continuity, because its body has not changed in the course of evolution. But at the same time, due to its body, it's also a symbol for flexibility. The seahorse has movable eyes, so it symbolizes foresight and a broad perspective. and the fact that male and female seahorses do not have separate tasks stands for equality. So in our opinion, the seahorse is an ideal image for qualities for a successful project or a successful startup. The two project clusters I want to present you focus on target groups that have special difficulties integrating into the labor market. The two projects of the European Climate Initiative you see on top of the slide are about supporting young engineers in Spain and Greece who cannot find jobs due to the high unemployment in their regions. And they try to motivate them to develop new green services that support the green economy, but that also enable consumers to act sustainable. For this purpose, there are already existing technical skills in the field of technique are improved by skills in green technology. They are inspired and peer coached by best practices from the green sector in Germany. We have a big network of green startups and enterprises here. And they are trained in entrepreneurial skills and supported in setting up social enterprises that create additional jobs in their local economies and gives them themselves a new vocational perspective. These projects are very, in Greece and in Spain, they are very successful, and there are a lot of small social enterprises which already exist and which really contribute to the local economies. The second project I would like to present is an Interact project. Here, our focus group are refugees in Germany, France, Ireland, and in the Netherlands. Refugees often have a lot of experiences in entrepreneurship from their home countries, but also from transit countries. They often intend to found a new enterprise and to work independently. And for that, the project tries to inform them about the possibilities and chances of the sustainable economy. And we try to sensitize them to the need for the green economy. In local hubs in all 4 countries, they are trained for the specific cultural characteristic of the target markets and for the culturally shaped ecosystems. I think that's the biggest problem for them, that the ecosystems in the new arrival countries are completely different. We train them in dealing with customers and in moving in the new markets. They are also sensitized for the opportunities of social enterprises and supported by peers in the local environments. I think both projects focus on the individual resources the young founders bring with them, and the opportunities for sustainable, social, and modern economy. What we see in both projects is that what we already saw in the icebreaker, that the diversity of individual resources is really a success factor for local economies and also for the startups and the projects. But this diversity has to be used and has to be supported. Okay, that's it, I think, from my side. I hope it wasn't too long.
Thank you very much, Silke, Thank you for interesting presentation. You may now stop to share your screen. I would like to remind our participants that please note down the questions and write them on Slido. We will have the Q&A session just after all our mentors end their presentations. And so we're going to see who we have ready to follow up on Silke's presentation. So, yeah, sorry. Who do we have? Michal, are you here maybe? Can you continue with the presentation? Can you hear me? Yes?
Do you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. You're
Okay,
on.
I won't share the screen. I was not able to connect my computer, so, but it's all right.
Sure.
So how are you doing? There is no response here. Okay, sorry.
There should be.
So
All right,
like
I can now see you.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Ah, nice. Okay, great. Okay, I would have some questions to ask the audience. But maybe write the answers down or just think about them. The questions which I would have is if it's here somebody with entrepreneurial ideas or somebody interested in research.
Maybe actually I can respond to the question because out of 12 teams that we have, I think 9 have come with some kind of a business idea already. And I'm pretty sure that we have a bunch of participants that are very interested in research and are really pushing the idea forward. And we have some really interesting ideas from the R&D as well.
That's great. So do you have any information if there's somebody who is already has or had experience with doing an innovation?
I think we have, yes.
So now the audience maybe later on we will have a chance to talk to each other. Just think of what is the innovation for you? And does the innovation need to be huge and maybe relevant to the date? What's the innovation according to the time when we are today, where we are now? And have you ever heard about the social impact? And if you've seen the SDG goals, are they all possibly connected to social impact? Also think about that if you would consider environmental impact as a social impact. Would you put these two impacts, like environmental impact and social impact, into the same box? Think about this because this might be very something which might give you an open your thinking, open your mind. When I was studying ICT and research and trying to find out about SDGs and responsible research and innovation, I found that there is always a connection of some, or usually there is a connection of new innovative technologies with research, with business ideas, and a lot of times with business ideas, not always. And it should be connected to the results with sustainable social impact. But how to do it? So I would give you one example which might be exactly relevant for this. We have started a project called Save the Bees. And if you think about saving the bees, you probably read a lot of articles around the world about pesticides and chemicals used in agriculture and other things which endanger bee species. What would you think of as the great technology for saving the bees, and what would you think as innovation in this area? Would you consider that there hasn't been any kind of innovation in this area of beekeeping, for example, for more than 100 years? And did you know that there are more than 20,000 bee species which are actually endangered, and there are only few types of bees who are producing honey. So what is it? What would be for you the solution for helping bees? So you can look on this problem from different angles. And I would tell you that last innovation in beekeeping was 100 years ago. But for example, 40 years ago, there was great research done on German university where they found that there is one mite which is killing bees. It's called Varroa, and they found out that you can get rid of the mite by just heating up the beehive. So if you heat up higher the temperature inside the hive up to 40 to 42 degrees Celsius, the mite will not survive, and the bees can sustain up to 51 degrees Celsius, and the honey does not lose its qualities up to 47 degrees of Celsius. So suddenly you don't need to use any kind of chemicals to help bees survive, and you can do it just physically by heating up the hives. So this research is old more than 40 years now, and technology allowed us to do this only a few years ago. And only a few years ago, beekeepers started using different types of approaches to help the bees. So what was this research for? Why it was not applied sooner? So what did we do? We and what might be an inspirational for you. Of course, we gathered all the different kind of researches and we tried to implement them in our technology. But first, for driving up or heating, or for managing the heating in the hive, you need to have any kind of or some kind of monitoring of the hive. You have to monitor humidity, not to dry them out. You have to monitor temperature, so you can keep the level of the temperature correct. You can monitor sounds, and these new age technologies, machine learning, allows you to, for example, understand the speech of the bees, the buzz. So we now can predict, thanks to the technology, when they will swarm from the hive. So we understand their buzz, so we can predict this up to 3 weeks before they do swarm. Beekeepers could not do this before. Some really old beekeepers who were already used to the sound of the bees were able to do it in the day or 2 days before the bees has swarmed, but not in other times. And we can predict several different types of events like this. We wouldn't be able to do it if we wouldn't connect the technological side and the research side, the side of forgot the word. The side of the human research or the animal research, doesn't matter. It's which did not understand the technology before. So now connecting these two sides helped us to solve several types of problems. In this moment, thanks to that, the beekeepers can have immediate notification about what's happening inside the bees, even though they are somewhere else. So because they usually place their beehives in separate areas. But thanks to this technology, we are also able to educate the farmers and in the agriculture to change their approach to help also the other types of bee species. So through the technology, directly connecting to the connected to the beekeepers through the product, which we are selling now to more than 47 countries in the world, and we have more than 20,000 installations around the globe. Thanks to this connection, we have direct communication channel to these beekeepers, and we can educate them, and they can educate farmers. And this way, we are able to change their thinking, because they usually really love the bees. So why not to love also other species of bees which do not produce honey? So and this way you can have direct social impact or environmental impact, or however you would say it. If we are talking about the bees, but also in other areas of the impact or sustainable development goals, I would also put it all in the same box of social impact, because if there wouldn't be any environment, then probably there wouldn't be any social life. So let's think about this like that. So the other example might be doing the research directly on the streets with parking. We would never think before about having some huge impact or being part of the goals SDGs with parking product. But when we did research and we tried to bring the best product, we communicated with all the stakeholders around. We found out that that according to one study, again it was done by ABM in 2014, up to 30% of the traffic is caused by the people who are circling around and trying to find a parking spot. Can you imagine if you make people using the bus or mass transport, how big impact it can have for the environment? So now we are trying to educate, and we are doing it quite well in several municipalities, to force or to make the parking policies such that they will somehow motivate people to use mass transport rather than going to the cities by the car. Of course, there is science around it, how to sell it, how to motivate them, but doing the research and being in touch with all the potential stakeholders might bring you new ideas how to move forward with the development goals, sustainable development goals of which were mentioned before. So I think that's it. I think doing a responsible ICT is possible and can be profitable also. So I cross fingers, and I wish you all the luck during developing your ideas which you came with, or which you will create during this event.
Okay, thank you, Mikael. Thank you for all the examples. Actually, that was really useful, and really a great message for the end, that indeed ICT can be responsible as an innovation. So thank you for the inspirational talk, and let's move on. Next on the list is Ms. Zdenka Havrilková. Zdenka, can you hear me? Are you here with us?
Hi.
Ready to share some interesting stories?
Sure, so let me check.
The floor is all yours.
Perfect. So one moment.
Will you share a screen with us for the presentation?
Yes, I'm working on it. So
yeah,
now you should.
That's it.
So one moment.
Okay, you're on.
So I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Perfect. It's not in the full mode, but I think you can see the PowerPoint slide. So hello everybody. My name is Zdenka Havralikova, and I'm the founder of Aviteum, which is a social impact consultancy based in Prague, in the Czech Republic. And I help mostly NGOs and also social impact entrepreneurs to implement their visions through securing funds, developing projects, and helping them strategically implement their ideas, mostly in the field of education, entrepreneurship, community development, labor market, or equal opportunities. And when I was thinking what inspirational practice to share with you, which is connected to SDGs, I actually chose a project which is more a, let's say, a movement, social movement, than a project called You Matter. So in front of you, you can see some key milestones of this project, but I would like to share with you the story behind, because some 10 years ago, I met a British professor called Tony Gay. He's a positive psychologist. And he was a really great inspiration for me, because his only message that he was pursuing all the time was, let's just be people the best as they can be. And by that, he created a lot of support and a lot of support organizations in Africa, in different states. And he helped local people, local communities to become sustainable. And throughout the years, we were in contact from time to time. And quite recently, some half year ago, he asked me to volunteer and actually support his new project, which is called You Matter, as an ambassador, as someone who really believes in the idea of the project, which is very simple. It's actually the idea behind this is to research and actually see how the feeling you matter influences our lives, our well-being, and how well we perform. And what I mean by you matter, it might be either feeling you are recognized for the work that you are doing, or you are actually accepted for the differences that you have, or you are appreciated for what you do. So these are really basic things that you say, well, that's not something really difficult, or I don't see it in my life, or I don't actually like perceive it. But since he's right now with his team working on a really big research, the results really show that those feelings or these, like, let's say, these considerations might really influence how we do at work, how we perform, how we feel, what ideas we create. So I would like to invite you, if you are interested in this project, because you might also join and contribute as volunteers or as someone who is interested in this topic, to the LinkedIn page that you can see at the bottom, and also for the Instagram page, where you will find concrete examples of different initiatives across the whole world, in Africa, Asia, Europe. And right now, the community since March 2020 grew to 60 volunteering ambassadors. You can see their pictures on the right. And in 2020, we implemented a global survey on how You Matter influences our lives. And in 2021, which is right now in January, starting are the podcasts and videos on various You Matter themes and stories. And the organizers or the team behind this project would be also very, very glad if you share, if you have some stories, experiences, and if you join, then you can also be viewed on those podcasts or join them. And for the 2020, we also work on different publications which are showing how to age well, how to include people with disabilities, and how to help them through sports and different activities. And there is one more slide. I think we don't have enough time, but I would like to invite you to the Instagram page, because there's a really great dance initiative as a concrete example of this project. And if you have like more interest in this project, just type in Google You Matter and you will find them. So thanks a lot for your attention, and I will be very much interested also to know more about the other experiences. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you very much, Zdenka. Thank you for the interesting presentation on the You Matter project and for the call of action at the end. I think it's nice to have a little dance challenge in the end. And last but not least, I would like to invite to our live stream Ms. Delia Stefanel. Delia, can you hear me? Are we on?
Yeah, hello everybody. I will briefly try to share my screen.
Sure, go on.
Okay, is it visible for everybody? Is it visible?
Yes, I think we're on.
Okay, great. So I am Delia Stefanel. Actually, I'm from Romania, from the European Social Impact Institute, and also from Lucian Blaga University of Sibiu, both based in central Romania. I would like to congratulate you all for joining such a highly skilled and competitive knowledge and ideas incubator. I would also like to express my thankful feelings for the organizers, and especially to Robert Mescouf and to Pedal team for inviting me to this ambitious event. Well, given that we don't have such a big slot time, my evening intervention is about how to design impactful solutions for inspiring social development. I have split my presentation into two parts. The first one has to do with providing you with some good practices that might enthuse the participants, while the second one gives you a few tips and know-how from an expert we are working with in Greece. And he is an expert generally in social marketing and changing behavior. So let's go directly into business, and let me introduce you some solutions under the label, let's say, Made in Romania, that might be some food for thoughts for you during this day. One solution designed by our students and which was awarded at GA Europe Enterprise Challenge last year was VMP. This is a volunteer management platform, which includes also a mobile matching application, which informs potential volunteers about the event in the area, and also helps those event organizers to better communicate with volunteers. This came actually as a solution for the International Theatre Festival and Jazz Festival that we have every year in Sibiu, in central Romania, and where plenty of university students and skilled students are volunteering. Another solution which is pretty known worldwide was URAT Monitor. Actually, it detects and warns you about air pollution in the area. It was also scaled up in Romania. It is one of the biggest air monitor network in Romania. It was also scaled up in other countries, but it is available in different small cities and neighborhoods. The red cycle here in the image localizes me and warns me about the air quality in my area. Lorelei, yes, it's one of the first chatbot providing trusted juridical consultancy for travelers abroad. It's also available on Facebook and WhatsApp Messenger. This solution, this idea was awarded first place at the Global Legal Hackathon in New York. Another application that I really liked is Paid by Face. It's an application based on biometric payment integration. It uses faces recognition. I'm in IT experts here might know more things that I do. Also, it's recognized you even if you are wearing a mask against COVID-19 virus. It was designed by a young Romanian who was raised up in US, and he returned to Romania. In order to use it, what you have to do, as they say on the site, you can see the site on the right corner, upside. You have to download first the application on your mobile. Then you create an account. You add your card, and of course you register some selfies of you. And if you want a security pin. It works now in different shops, in cafeteria, and some retail companies in Romania. They also wanted to do like a temperature measurement, not using this kind of small plastic guns, but of tablets. My last application I want to introduce it is Wear It. It's fashion advisors that help you nicely combining the clothes from different shops that are available online. With this few pins in mind, please feel free, if you find something attractive, to look at the links of the applications I have briefly presented. And also having in mind that you have to design reliable models, so feel free to use business models in your ideas. See what others have already did. So don't copy, but let's say better replicate or even enhance or do your innovative ideas. Please have a look at similar ideas incubations and also hackathons. You can see here. For those who still don't have a clear idea up to now, there are some links as EU versus Virus Hackathon that has incubated more than 2,000 solutions and concerning this struggle with COVID-19 and many other projects included in the portfolios of Hackathon. But better than hearing my voice, I invite you to hear the expert I was telling you about. I think I have to escape this and share a new screen with you. Okay, this one.
Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Leonidas, or just Leos Kerletopoulos from Social Marketing and Behavior Change Institute of Greece. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Professor Adelia. And I know about your challenging project, that you're trying to tackle some social challenges based on sustainable development goals and technology. So I'm not a tech expert. However, I will drive you and give you some guidance through under the lens, help you see things as we see in social marketing, where that is my field of expertise. And let's go see our topic. Okay, social challenge, that is what we are going to do. There are big problems, new complex and persistent problems, but that problems need actually creative solutions. Here, where you stand, you're going to find about growing chronic illnesses, aging population, obesity. 1 in 5 people suffer from mental health problems, poverty, social and national inequalities, access to education, blah, blah, traffic accidents, many problems for you to tackle. My suggestion here is what you do is try to find something that makes you angry. That is where you will be the most effective. If something makes you angry, this is where you start. A social entrepreneur, that is what he or she does. Find something that makes them angry, and then they tackle it. Social design. We're going to talk about social design. And why? Because that is what we're going to do. That is how, especially in social marketing and in many creative approaches, try to do. Create the environment that will help people, because people don't take decisions based on logic, right? So that is a problem. Look, for instance, here, this funny picture. Omer will take a banana that is healthier than the candy because the banana is in front of him. So behavioral architecture based on citizen and behavior insights, or beneficiary, if you want to say, not citizen. In your try to understand your audience, what they stand for, what they value, what they do, what is their routine, and then understand how you will help them adopt your solution. Think social innovation driven by citizen or beneficiary insights. So you see the expert-defined model, a great engineer created a very nice pathwalk. However, it was not convenient, and you see the user experience. They don't go there, they don't like it. So the effective approach is informed by behavioral insights, the user-defined model. You know what is the problem? It's a fact that men in restrooms create a mess. So what they understand by observing is that they understood their experience. So that they are bored and they like to aim. So here is a win-win situation. Okay, they created a sticker with a fly, they placed it exactly in the place. So when the men aim at this fly, don't spill out and don't make a mess. So everybody's happy and it's win-win. That is effective approach. So I suggest you go that way. You need to create also a social offering that inspire, engage, and enable. It is very important to remember this. And let's go with our first case. Our first case is Trikala quit smoking. It's very funny because the country that had the first legislation in Europe about smoking in 1856 was the last country to adopt the ban of smoking in enclosed public spaces. That was because the norm in Greece was greater and was a massive force. It was stronger than the legislation. So what Trikala did, they created what we have to know. You can read more in the link provided or in Social Marketing Quarterly about this case. I want you to remember at least this year, because I was involved in this. In this case, is to remember the co-creation. Co-creation is success. What they did, they engaged, it was a multi-level stakeholder engagement program. So they engaged stakeholders in multi-levels and created their program, and that was why they succeeded. 2 in 3 Australians will be diagnosed with cancer before age of 70. This is how technology helps in most situations. Look at this application. What they did, they make easy people to understand when they want to go to the sunlight by providing information like today the sunlight is like this, so you need a 10 degrees sun protection oil. No, don't go now for a walk because sun is dangerous, but you can go for a walk in 5 and I will alert you, and it provides alerts and information, instant information, so helps those people to take decision or not to take decision, right? So this is another way technology helps in Australia to create good. Another example, it's low-tech. Trevor Field said Africa needs low-tech. The biggest problem, a huge problem in Africa is the water. They don't have clean water. So this is a huge problem because if you don't have clean water, you become sick. And most people become sick from water. So what they did, they didn't have technology. However, they had many merry-go-rounds. Trevor saw many kids playing in the road, so said, okay, let's create some merry-go-round, make a pump, and give and nudge kids to play more by giving them more something and motive. So if you see, the pump can raise up to 1,400 liters of water per hour. So in 1 hour, it covers the need of the whole village. However, it didn't go more. It didn't succeed because it was not sustainable. And that is the tip from this case. You need to think sustainability for your application, for your approach. It had maintenance costs that the companies didn't pay. It was nice for first, second year, but then many companies dropped out and didn't pay anymore for this cost. So what they did, low-tech with technology. This is an application, solar-powered, the same approach with solar power, but you just add also a penny inside, 10 pennies. Anybody have this kind of money, especially the poor, even the poor, actually, it's the best expression. So that money were quite enough. You just add, insert 10 pennies and then 10 cents, and then you have water. So that cents were enough for maintenance, and an application makes it easy, and many things. We don't have many time, but you can see ewaterpay.com. Last, by closing, Greece for All was a company that they invested in accessible tourism. I'm not sure where they are right now. I know that they were acquired by a bigger non-profit company. It was a great case. What they did, the case is easy. If you are disabled, you don't travel if you don't feel safe. They made disabled people feel safe by mapping the city. Say that, where you want to travel? I want to travel in August 10th. Okay, in August 10th to August 15th, then you have these accessible hotels, these accessible restaurants, you can find only accessible places in your search. And then you can go from the airport and they rate the places by accessibility. So you know that there are accessible places in this city, however, there is no accessible transportation. So you cannot go from the airport to the city. So that's all. Hope I helped you. I hope those be of value to you. And remember, be useful and be sustainable and engage people. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So this actually was my presentation with the very pricey help of Leonidas Keratopoulos from Social Marketing and Behavior Change Institute in Greece. We do believe that things are always done together, not or very rarely, but by one person. There's always a team of people. So I wish you all like-minded young people to have during these 2 days good inspiration to incubate outstanding ideas and find great development solutions to tackle sustainable goals, to inspire, to make a change, and to help. I hope you will help those in need. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Delia. Thank you for the presentation, and thank you for the nice inspirational words in the end. Actually, this last presentation was a great buy because we had 2 mentors instead of 1. So twice as information and good examples for you guys, for our participants and the viewers alike. So I would like to thank once again all our mentors for their inspirational talks and presentations. And I would like to invite them to stay here with us to reconnect. If mentors, if you disconnected from Slido or stopped sharing your cameras, please do share your cameras now so we have you here on the full screen. And turn the mics off for now. But as I will address the questions to you, please turn them on again because we are heading to the Q&A session. We received a bunch of questions on Slido, so maybe let's take a little look on what we have here. So do we have all the mentors connected right now? Yes, we have them. That's great. So the first question that we have here is for Michal. Projects trying to create social impact have problems with funding. That's true. What sources are available and what are the success factors in raising money? Michal.
I don't think so. It's true. I think in this time the social impact is getting more and more attention. So I don't think it's true. I think in this time it's even better and easier to get funding for social impact project. Of course, don't change social impact with charity. Because social impact project entrepreneurship can be and should be profitable and make and is possibly making the same margin as let's call it regular business, even though I think today's regular business should be social impact business, or business which is somehow trying to address the social impact. So with if the numbers are making a sense, then investors invest. If the social impact project is you have and you approach it differently, that it has lower margins or doesn't have a profit at all, then there is another approach. But even huge investment institutions around the world are having and they in their policies that they have to invest in social impact projects, so at least some portion of their portfolio. So it depends. You can always it depends in what phase the project is. If it's an early stage project, then you can raise money from family, friends, and fools, or just angel investors who really love the idea. Usually it's about the feeling, about the rapport you have with the investor. Then there are some venture capital funds which do focus on social impact investing. But again, if the numbers make sense, then even venture capital fund which is not looking into social impact, looking for social impact projects, will invest. So it depends, but it's more specific question. Sometimes changing a business model also helps, and to get an attention of the investors. So maybe we can try to talk it case by case, talk it through case by case. But if you have more questions, just or you want to ask deeper, just do not hesitate.
Sorry, could I perhaps add something to that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Go on, please.
Because I would like to share a really good example, which I experienced just today. Because today I had a meeting with two big enterprises in Greece. I mean, really big enterprises. And we have a project in Greece where we try to support young social and green startups, and these big enterprises, they asked me to link them to the startups, because they know that both enterprises are very active in agriculture, and they want to remodel their offer and their products on an ecological level. And they asked me to link them to the startups because they want to produce added value on the ecological dimension. And they need the help of startups because they, as big and heavy enterprises, they don't have the resources to do that. So, I mean, I think the ecological and also the social impact grows more and more important. And also big enterprises have recognized that. And they I think they are really willing to invest in young people with ideas.
Yeah, maybe I will just add one more thing. Sometimes maybe you don't need an investment, just such an enterprise or as a client who just pays for your development or for your services because they need it or have funds for it.
Okay, thank you. I think that was a very both exhausting and encouraging answer. So I hope it helps. If you have any other questions or you want to follow on your questions that you already posed, please feel free to use the Slido as much as you can. And the next question, we will proceed. The next question is for Zdenka. There are many projects addressing social/environmental issues, but only few of them survive and succeed in long term. What are the main barriers, according to your opinion? It's quite similar to the question that we already had, maybe in some point.
So maybe I can answer this question from a different perspective, because like my background is mostly public funding for the social impact projects, but I also help, for example, Impact Hubs, which is a global network of impact hubs, co-working spaces, and let's say it's a social impact network of entrepreneurs who are trying to help projects in acceleration programs. And mostly the barriers that they're facing, or what I actually understood from my colleagues and mentors who were working with these startups, so who were mostly acting on climate change and also acting on support for sustainable production of food and sustainable fashion, were actually right at the beginning that mostly there is a really great idea behind every startup and every project, but what they were facing at the beginning, that they really need to be, the problem is here for sure, the challenge, the problem. There is a solution, of course, but there also needs to be the market, and the mapping the environment actually might be a very key factor of success that sometimes is underestimated. And of course, the idea behind is solving really crucial problems, but also the investors and potential funders need to see it in the same way. So it's also important to check what are the current, let's say, policy-making priorities, or what are the current strategies in particular contexts, not only national ones, but also local ones, regional ones, because it increases then the potential pool of influencers, funders, foundations that might help. So this is maybe a different perspective, but it was something that I recently discussed with my colleagues who were helping in those acceleration programs.
Thank you very much. All right, maybe anybody else who would like to add on this question, on this topic, and follow up for Zdenka? Any volunteers? If not, we'll just continue. I would like to say, first of all, I forgot it. I would like to say hi to Romina. So
Hi.
Now we have all our mentors here for us. So Romina joined us as well. And so you can also point your questions towards her. And we'll just continue with a question for Silke. What recommendations would you give to the teams participating in the Common Ground Camp to bring meaningful solutions? Recommendations.
I think at first everybody has to be very aware which problem he or she wants to solve, or the team wants to solve. I think that's the first step. But then one advice we saw in the video Delia showed us, I think that's also very useful. If you really want to develop a solution for a problem people or user have in their daily life, you really have to include their knowledge about their problem and their knowledge about how to do better. So I think if you want to develop a product or service, you really have to do it with your future customer. You have to include the customer from the beginning on, and it's an open innovation process where you really have the feedback of your future customers. or the users, and where you really develop your idea adapted to their needs. I think that's the most precious advice I can give you to that question.
Okay, so if I may recap, if I understood it correctly, it's kind of the same advice that one of my friends, former venture capitalists, once told me. It's always listen to your customers, and there is no better venture capitalist than your customer. So, for instance, we don't have any other questions, but I would have one question for each one of you. Maybe a short answer would be sufficient. I know that we spoke earlier on about the judging criteria that you will evaluate all the business solutions or all the solutions proposed on the Friday pitches against. But according to you, what is the number one quality or feature that you seek when judging the business ideas? Is it more the quality of the team? Some people say it's all about the team. Other people, and if I go on with, or maybe follow up with the Silke's idea, say that it's all about the added value that you can bring to the customer, the USP maybe, or is it the uniqueness of the solution, or the traction it may bring? What is it in your opinion? Maybe let's start with Romina, as she joined as the last one and didn't have the opportunity to speak until now.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for the question. I think it's really important to focus on the main idea and on the team. I think the team is the most important thing, because if you have got heterogeneous competences in the team, it's really good to develop a holistic idea and to keep in mind all the things you need, like the technical inspiration, the social inspiration, the financial stuff, and all these things. So I think it's all about the team.
Okay, thank you. Let's follow up with the ladies. Delia, what's your opinion on the topic?
I do believe that it's very important to be sustainable, to be creative, to impact as many users as possible, and also to try to be innovative, try to do something. Okay, maybe you cannot reinvent the route, but maybe you can find a solution for the route to work better, the wheel, yeah. Okay,
I see Michal smiling, so Michal, what's your opinion on the topic?
Have fun. And I think the best, I don't know, if judging criteria, usually what I do try to look at first is the traction of the team. So of course the team is most important, but it's not only about the team, but how can the team perform. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. So we have it at least 2-0 for the team. So Zdenka, what's your opinion? Is it 3-0 for the team, or?
I think it's a complex, because there always needs to be a real problem, then always needs to be a real customer. So we really need to have someone who is interested and who really is someone that we are solving problems for. But I also think that the key success is passion in the team, but not only that, it really needs to be grounded in a diverse team that is skilled and that really has different, let's say, not only ideas, but also someone who is really able to put the ideas into practice. And what I think, and I really, really have this experience from many, many projects, the networks. So really try to look around who can support you, where you can find help, because there really is someone who has not the same idea, maybe similar idea, but has a different opinion, different approach. And it's always great to search on Google and see who can support your idea.
All right, thank you. And last but not least, Silke, we already heard your answer before, and you kind of give me the pass to ask the question, but I would like to hear from you again nevertheless. So what's the most important
Yeah.
quality
I
or
think,
factor?
I totally agree with all the other mentors. Perhaps I can add that the vision which is behind a product or a service is also very important. And I mean, it is about the impact, but vision means to me that my new product or service makes things better, change things to the better. And I think that's about vision, and that's also important. But I agree with everything which was said before.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's really about the team. I think that's a very important factor indeed. You know, I always compare it to when you receive this manual or guide on how to construct things when you buy it from IKEA. The first thing that they display is always one person who is quite angry in the mood, and then on the second picture you have two of them which are constructing together and are smiling. So yeah, that's a little point on a team. So. I think this last question ends the official part or the stream part of the first day of the Common Ground Camp. So I would like to thank you all, especially our mentors. I would like to thank Luis for joining us today, and all the participants and the viewers on YouTube who were there with us. And I would like to remind our participants that they can still profit from the support of our mentors. You still have them here until 7:30 p.m. So you can still join them in the discussions, and that will be not streamed, that will be the unofficial part of the event. So and after a first fruitful day, I would like to do a short teaser for the day 2. So actually just a quick recap on the agenda for tomorrow. We will start at 9 p.m. sharp, so please connect a bit in advance to your Zoom. And we will continue with a pitch perfect workshop by Ms. Nina Gigani, and then leave the teams to work on their solutions. But at the same time, we will do team interviews that will be streamed with captains at the same time to finally know more about the teams, know more about the captains, know more about the solutions that they are working on. So this will be very interesting, I think. And then teams will receive some further feedback from the mentors, and they will continue to work in private sessions until, again, 7 p.m. that they can stay on the Zoom to perfect their solutions to prepare for the big day, for the Friday pitches. So thank you very much. That was the first day of the Common Ground Camp 2021. And we're heading back to you from Bratislava, Slovakia. We see you tomorrow. Bye and have a nice rest of the day.